Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of From Page to Stage. I'm your host, Wendy Corner, and this podcast is for you if you are an entrepreneur. Yes, page and stage come together in entrepreneurship. And you may be going, really? What? How does that work? Well, you may have a solo book out, you may have a contributory book out, you may have a regular blog. But if you're an entrepreneur, you've got socials, haven't you? And what's that if it's not published work? Tick that box. But then this speaking thing, a lot of people come to me and go, oh, I can't do public speaking. No, that's just not for me. And my response is, can you have a one-on-one conversation with somebody? Yes. Then you can do a podcast. And yes, that is a stage. So entrepreneurs listening to this, come join us. Let's have you sharing your wonderful wisdom on From Page to Stage. Okay, now, this is going to be fun. I have the joy and pleasure of introducing you to the Orange Cowboy, aka Swami Tirtha. Now,
Sure,
I
sure, sure.
literally know about this much about Swami. So I'm going to ask you, Swami, could you give us a little bit of an insight into who you are and how you've got to where you are today?
Who I am. I am a person who loves to help people through the heart and through natural uh, methods, alternative healing, intuitive healing, all those good kinds of things. And now these days, cutting edge technologies that light therapies and sound therapies that which were also ancient. So
I was going to say, well, science is just catching up, isn't it?
they really are there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Cool.
that's what I'm about. And how I got here was as a child. I'm 7 years old, roughly. It's hard to remember. I was very young back then. And I started to get dreams at night, which turned out to be premonitory dreams that my parents would leave and I would have other people become my parents. And then they would leave and other people would become my parents. And
Okay.
it was a recurring dream, Wendy. So um, I went on. It wasn't fun, but it would go away. I'd forget about it. It'd come back.
Mhm.
And as I got older, about to around 10, the dreams would change, but the message was the same. And then one day, my parents were in a car accident and they passed in real life. And so,
Ooh.
yeah, initially it was obviously a shock and grief, but
Mm.
afterwards, then I started to reflect on what happened, and I said, well, now this is let me paint a little picture of the time.
Mm.
1972. There was no yoga in America. The Beatles went
Mhm.
to India just a few years earlier to stare at their
Mhm.
navel. There was nothing holistic. There was nothing, now there's a yoga center at every corner, right?
Mm.
Neuroscience. None of that was there. It was like a desert. And so
Right.
I'm thinking it wasn't possible for somebody to talk to me in my dreams. And it certainly wasn't possible to tell my future, but it happened.
Well,
But
what
it
was the
happened.
time gap between your first dream and your parents passing?
About um, about 10 years, roughly. Yeah.
10 years. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was on college campus and there was a sign for meditation, a lecture. And my friends were giving me some books. Just Be Here Now is the first book about be here now, be in the moment. And Don Juan's author was Carlos Castaneda, and he wrote a series of books by Don Juan, a magician, um, mystic in Mexico.
Okay.
So I was starting to, it was like I was just sucking all this in like a dry sponge. And then the
Mm.
lecture came and it was like everything I wanted to know about. And so I just did a whole 180 pivot. I changed colleges to a meditation college and I became a meditation teacher. And so that shock, that tragedy, actually, I realized later God was supporting me, preparing me for something
Mm.
that was destined. I
Yeah.
guessed. And
Okay. And have you had other premonitions that have come true?
Oh yeah, nothing like nothing that severe.
I think it's drastic. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's a great question because after that, all my life choices, all my pivots were when I had an invitation from God to do something. So
Okay.
the I was got involved with Ayurvedic medicine because
Uh-huh.
it came from India, as did the meditation. And one day I had a vision to make bottles of herbs, have a herb company.
Hmm.
And with zero business experience, Wendy, I pulled out my paper, my calculator, my wholesale catalog, because I was selling the herb powders to people. And I figured it
Right.
all out. And with no business experience, I said, well, I can break even here. Let's do it. Yahoo!
Right.
And
Right.
so I did that. And it took about 5 years for my
Uh-huh.
business to take off. And a few times in there, it was the 11th hour. I was running out of money.
Hmm.
And in the 11th hour, my accountant would call me and say, oh, I found another check from your parents. That held me for a while. And
Mm.
after like three times that happened, Wendy, I said, okay, God, you got my back. I get it. So things like that. He later on, he told me, um, mediumship. You can go deeper into your mediumship. So
Okay.
that's, mediumship is when you talk
Yes.
to people in heaven. So just see if
Yeah.
anybody, um, some people say, we talk to the dead. That's a kind of a jarring, but you talk to your loved ones and your pets in heaven.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then just last year was the most recent big conversation. He said, I've got something for you. Keep your eyes open. And 2 days later, my friend was wearing this patch here, and she had fibromyalgia. She couldn't bend for like 40 years. She was 75.
Okay.
She ducks under the fence like a little kid. I go, what? What's going on? And she's giddy like a little kid. She goes, oh yeah, I started wearing this patch, and she's giggling, um, and I go, that's awesome. The patch is it wakes up your stem cells, and I go, well, that's great. How long have you been wearing them? And she goes, oh, 3 days. Yeah, that's my expression. 3 days, give me some patches. So I
Right.
started those patches, and because I've been in the holistic field, I've been pretty healthy, but at 70, things started to take longer to
Mm.
stretch. Everything kind of went away, and one day I woke up, got right out of bed, and I said, "Okay, God, you've given me a second chance on life here. What do you want me to do? I'm yours, you know. I've been
Mm.
yours, but now I have a whole new life." And so that's where I am now, sharing everything from the meditations to the holistic health to the cutting edge light therapies.
Right. Right. Well, obviously, this is a from page to stage podcast. So I want to take you back in time because you are an author. Take you back in time. When did you first get the idea that you were quite good at writing? I mean, most of us start the mechanics around sort of five, six. When did you grasp the idea that, ooh, this is fun?
Sixth grade, we
Sixth
had
grade.
an
How old were
assessment.
you then? Forgive me, not everybody
Oh,
who watches
okay,
this is
sixth grade.
American.
So you're six in kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 12 years old.
About 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We had an assignment to write a story and get some cardboard and get some contact paper and make a book, write it and publish it.
Okay.
So everybody did
Right.
that. And I wrote a kooky story about an imaginary Boy Scout leader because I was in the Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts, I don't remember.
Hmm.
And I loved it. Just I like humor a lot, and I just made a goofy imaginary story. I believe I still have it to this day. I believe it's
Oh,
somewhere.
do dig it out.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, that's really precious. Mm.
And but it really took off for me when I was in India with my guru, and it
Okay.
was my second visit to him, and he has somebody bring out a manuscript from one of their books, and it's been translated from Hindi into English. So
Okay.
I'm reading this manuscript, and I say to him after a while, this is an amazing book. This should be published. He said, okay. I go, what do you mean, okay? He goes, yeah, yeah, publish it.
Oh, over to you to do the publishing.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I went home. I had to buy the first Word document program out there. It was Ami, which means friend in French.
Yeah.
And the company was Samna. And had to buy a computer. And so I published that.
So you
And
typed it up.
I retyped it, and I had to yeah, I typed it up and formatted everything. And I went to
Hmm.
the local Sir Speedy, and they printed the first edition, which was a little plastic spiral bound book
Oh yeah, yeah.
and a little one.
Mm.
And he said, "This is lovely, but next time make it bigger for people like me who need bigger type."
Yes.
So
Those of us of a
eventually, I
certain age that the goggles are required. Hmm.
that's right, that's right.
Mm.
So
Mm.
eventually, I republished that. I published a second book of his another manuscript of his guru's manuscript, and then and I thought that was it. But I'm trying to think how this got started. I was teaching Ayurveda. I had clients in Ayurveda. And one of my students, who was a medical doctor, said, "You should write a book about this." And there was only maybe 3 books out at that time. So I
Mm.
wrote a book. Well, the first version was like 600 pages and it had nothing to do with Ayurveda. It was just my own la-di-da kind of stuff. So I literally threw it out and started over. But I did
Mhm.
write another 700-page book on Ayurveda, which is this book right here. And
Mhm.
if you
All
read
right.
it and you raise your arms up and down, you don't have to go to the gym.
It's a hefty tome, obviously.
It's a
Yes.
hefty tome.
Well, it's an
But if you,
encyclopedia. And
yeah,
those of us who are old enough to remember things, I don't know what you had in America, but we had the Encyclopedia Britannica,
yes,
sort of
we did.
all 50 odd
Right.
hardback
Volumes. Yes, yeah,
volumes.
yes.
But yeah, golly. Mm.
So that was that. It became a
When,
number
when,
one
when did you
bestseller.
when did you produce that one then?
I believe it was 1980. It took me 6 years to write it, but it actually was
Mhm.
printed in 90, 98, 99, somewhere in there.
Okay.
1998. Yeah.
And this was before Amazon got going, so this would have been through a brick and
This,
mortar publisher.
this is a real publisher. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh.
I was reading books on self-publishing, and I
Mhm.
connected with a group, and I showed them the book, and they said, "We go to Barnes and Noble, we go to Borders, we go to Ingram and
Yeah.
Baker and Taylor, and we show them all these books we think will do something, and we think your book is going to do like really well." And they
Okay.
said, "We'll buy that book." And so that's what got started. And independent publisher, they went out and um,
Right.
got it sold bestsellers, stayed on the bestseller list on Amazon for years.
Great. So do you retain the rights to that, or are
Oh,
the
it's my
rights now
book.
with that?
No, it's my
Yeah,
book. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is your book. Yeah, no, the reason I'm
Self-published.
asking is because some publishing houses, you actually hand over the rights so that at any
Oh,
point they can go, no, we're going to pull it. And
I
it's no
see.
longer in print because it's not officially your IP because you've
Oh,
signed
right,
it
right.
away, basically.
Right. Those are the real, this is called independent IPG, Independent Publishers Group. So they're
Okay.
not the publisher really. They're the distributor is what they are.
Ah,
And they
right.
get
Got
small
you.
independent publishers that have worthwhile books and then they promote
Yes.
them. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But audience, just to bear in mind, if you go down the roads of having an established brick and mortar publishing house, the time schedule from the time that you submit your manuscript to the time it comes out can be 18 months, 2 years, even longer.
Yeah.
And unless you're very carefully looking at the contract you've got, you may find that your rights to your book have been passed over. So
Yeah.
they can then decide, oh, we're not getting many sales from this and take you off the list. So
Right.
be careful if you go down the roads of having a brick and mortar publisher, check the small print on your contract.
Yeah.
PSA.
Yeah. My friend,
Okay.
that happened to my friend. She did a yoga travel book and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't do anything for her. I don't think
Yeah.
they even promoted it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very,
Now, a friend of mine has also had that similar thing. She was writing about female Australian composers,
hmm.
and she at least was warned that they were taking it off the list. So she had the option to buy the rest of the stock. But
Right.
then you've
Right.
got sort of 500 books sitting in the garage, and you go,
Yeah.
well, what are we going to do with them? So,
Yeah.
yeah, just something to bear in mind, listeners, that read the small print carefully.
Yeah. It's easier today because everything's going to print on demand.
Yes, exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's it's a lot better. And Amazon's pretty decent if you've got a book that's I was really fortunate. I was blessed that I got in at the ground level of before it took off, and
Hmm.
so I was there at the
Yeah.
beginning. So
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, so that was your first book, but that's not the only book you've done, though, is it?
that no, that was the first book, but I said I'm never going to do another big book. I was 6 years of my life, 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I wrote a smaller book on Ayurveda, just a ABC's primer or something of that
Okay.
nature.
Mhm.
And but then I wrote a couple of other books. I wrote 21 Days of Joy, because if you each day there is another page with a thought about joy that you could practice. And if you do
Ah,
something for 21 days, when do you know this neuroscience says you create new neural pathways, so you
that's
have
the
more
start of
joy.
it. And you keep it going and keep it going and keep it going until it truly embeds in. Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
right, right.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That I believe, audience, I'm not saying out of turn, that's the gift that you're offering our audience, isn't it?
I believe so.
Oh, there you go, audience. When
So
when when you finish watching this, have a look in the show notes, and there will be the link to go find it. Thank you so much, Swami. That's very generous of you.
well, people
So
need
that was
joy
your
today.
21 days.
Yes,
Have I missed anything off? Have you got any other books that
I
you've already
do.
produced?
Yes, I wrote a book because at the time the college students were undergoing so much stress. There's so
Right.
much workload, and some people had to pay for college, and so I wrote a book called The Stress-Free College Student. And
Right.
I found I did some research and found like the five things that stress people out more than anything else. And I
Okay.
made a chapter for each of them: finances, relationships, health. Um, and in there, I just a whole complete holistic approach from mindfulness to foods to exercise to relationships, and
Hmm.
links to other further information, and that was a good book.
Nice.
Yeah, I see
Nice.
grandparents because I had them in the local health food store, and I'd see grandparents come and go, "Oh, I'm going to get this for my grandchild because they're."
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how many books have you written now?
I'm losing count. I mean, that is probably close to that. My latest book was a collaboration. My friend asked me to write this book with her, and it's
Mhm.
called The Magic of the Blessed Mother's Miracles.
Okay.
And her story was at different times, she lost two of her children, and one was her own, one was a foster child. And
Uh-huh.
these situations were obviously horrifically tragic.
Mm.
And the only thing that kept her alive and with her family was Mother Mary, she says. Mother Mary would come to her and in her dreams and just help her stay
Right.
somehow calmer.
Well, there's another Beatles song.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
So the
Okay.
yeah, so
So
I
you
help.
contributed to that book.
My job was really to frame it, how, because she's never written, how to frame the
Oh, I
book and how to
see.
frame the stories. And then she says, I can't tell the stories the way I feel them, put them in a way that audience will benefit from them.
Right.
And so we made it a practical, okay, this was
Okay.
sad, but this is how she dealt with it, kind of a thing.
So you ghost wrote it for her?
No, she was very much a part of it. She told me the
Mhm.
stories. I would
Oh, no, no, no. I mean,
rewrite it.
ghostwriters do that. You
Oh,
get the whole story, and then it's a case of, right, well, you now know it in my voice, put it down on paper so that it sounds like me.
right. And then she would tell me that's not my voice, or that's I
There
don't
you
want that
go.
one. But
There
but
you go.
I mean, both our names are. First, she said just put your name on it, but once she realized how much work she put into the book, her emotionally and
Yes.
all that,
Yeah.
so that's that. Yeah.
Love it. And when did that
And
one come out?
this came out about a year or two ago,
Okay.
so 2023. Yeah.
2023. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce you if I haven't. I think I'm going to introduce her to you. Oh, I did talk to you about it.
Audience, you can tell Swami and I have a regular conversation. Not just, I mean, you're listening into this one, so enjoy, enjoy. Okay, Swami. So we've talked about your lovely writing thing.
Mhm.
Tell us now about your speaking journey. When
Speaking.
did you start to realize that you could speak with aplomb?
Okay, so it wasn't in college because that was scary as anything.
Oh
It
yeah.
wasn't even when I gave meditation lectures. I was so nervous.
Okay.
I talked like a robot.
So you
I
were
just
lecturing.
Yeah, lectures to groups
Ah,
of people who would want to possibly meditate. So there's a free
right. Okay.
introduction lecture. After a while, I warmed up and got easier. But when I started practicing Ayurveda, uh, that was magic, how well it worked for me, like in seconds. And it was a calling. I loved it. And when people asked me to speak, I could just talk about it, and that's
Mm.
when was natural for me.
Can I stop you for a second? Not everybody will have had a grounding in Ayurveda. So would you give us
Sure. Hmm.
a little definition? What is Ayurveda
Ayurveda
and how
is a
does it work?
Sanskrit word. It comes from two
Mhm.
roots. Ayur is life, and Veda is wisdom or science.
Mhm.
So it's the science of life, the wisdom of life, how to live life in harmony with nature.
Right. Okay. So that's the name of it. So why is it different from anything else?
Good question. It gets to the root cause. It was probably the first science that dealt with root cause. They said
Hmm.
back 10,000 years ago, the cause of most physical disease, Wendy, is poor digestion. And
Okay.
and just in the last decade, maybe, Westerners started to talk about this thing called gut biome. Oh, look at that. Look what they know,
What do you
those
know?
ancients who know nothing. Look what they know, everything.
Yes, quite. Yeah. And of course, we've now discovered there's a gut brain as well as a heart brain and a head brain.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, the heart brain
Mm.
has more neurons feeding, talking to the brain than vice versa. I just saw that the other day.
Yes, that I heard that about the gut, to be fair.
The gut too,
So
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
more messages going this way than that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had it upside down. And it's
Well, the thing is,
personalized.
it's the head brain that's got the voice. So the
Yeah.
head brain thinks, "Ha, I'm superior."
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
and the other thing that's so great about it is it's personalized. So one size doesn't fit all. Western medicine
Okay.
is like that, and they have this thing called a healing crisis. You're going to feel bad while you detox, then you'll feel better.
Yep.
But Ayurveda says, well, this herb will do this, these two herbs will do the same thing, but this one will aggravate your constitution. So let's use this one. So it's just you
Okay.
get better and get better for the most
Right.
part. Yeah. So those are some of the things that
Thank you.
make Ayurveda so unique.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate that. Okay, so you've did and do you do workshops around the Ayurveda as well and
Well,
meditation?
at one point, my students, I was doing like Friday night, just in India they call them satsangs. You just get together for spiritual conversations and meditation. And as
Hmm.
I started writing my book, the students, no, I wasn't even writing the book yet. They said, "Oh, we'd like to take a course with you on Ayurveda." So that morphed into an Ayurveda class, and eventually it became a full blown certification program. And then
Mm,
I was invited to speak at John Hopkins University,
right.
preeminent medical school. And then also after that, that led to speaking to the White House Commission on Alternative Medicine. So
Oh.
that's the feather in my cap.
Hmm. Were you nervous for that one?
Yes, very nervous. It
Yeah,
was.
I don't blame you because I mean, hello, were you actually in the White House?
No, they traveled around the country. This was during George Bush second Jr., the second Bush presidency.
Okay.
It was a commission they had. I just searched recently. I didn't see anything, so it may not be there. But they had a commission that traveled around the country and interviewed holistic people. What do you
Right.
do? How does it work? We want to adopt stuff, offer stuff for America. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So is that, forgive me, I don't really understand the American health system. So is that something that would be offered under Medicare or Medicaid or something, or simply for um,
Yeah,
insurance companies?
it never made it to the mainstream. Um,
Yeah.
the the there were some insurance companies that would say to you, if we send yoga people to you, would you give them a discount? That was about the closest we came to. I did a research
Yeah.
study for my doctoral program comparing seasonal allergies using Ayurvedic systems versus traditional allopathic. And I was
Hmm.
talking to an insurance company, and they said, we would love to know the results of that. So I did that as a thesis and found
Okay.
you save a lot of money and time and health by going the holistic way, the Ayurvedic way.
Yes. Well, the thing is, every time you take something allopathic, you've got to have something else to counteract the side effects of the
Yeah.
first medication you took, and then it spirals.
It
Yes,
was an old lady who swallowed a fly.
exactly. Okay, that's lovely. So we've talked about your writing, and so with your speaking, you've done presentations, you've done workshops, you've done lecturing,
Yeah.
keynoting. I suppose that's what the commission was, really, wasn't it? You had to give a presentation, or was it more of
Yes.
an interview?
No, it was a presentation. Yeah. You stood
Right.
up and then talked to the people on stage and answered their questions. And yeah,
Yeah.
I've done,
Cool.
and then I've talked to like yoga. I there talks presented to Ayurvedic school associations.
Yeah.
Um, where else have I? Holistic.
Well, obviously, you've done podcasts.
Hey, yeah. Oh, is that where I
Yeah.
am? No, yeah, yeah. Podcasts. Well, podcasts more recently. Back then,
Yeah.
um, the funny thing was Microsoft had this little thing on the computer where you could talk to each other. So I told my clients, let's meet on this thing. No, no. So it took the COVID for people to say, oh,
Yes.
this is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
That's
right. Well, I
decades
mean,
later now.
here I am sitting here in Mexico and you're in Florida, I believe.
Florida, right?
So, yeah, okay, we're not that far apart. But the point is, with something like this, I've often been in Asia and
Yeah,
interviewing people on this
yeah,
side of the world,
yeah,
and people, hang on, times. So I'm next week I'm interviewing somebody from New Zealand, and we are 19 hours apart. So that's taken a little bit of juggling with the
yeah.
schedule.
Timing. The timing is
Yes.
rough there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have courses there. I'm just reposting them on my site now. I have a medical intuition course that I taught.
Okay.
I told people at the Ayurveda convention I have this course, and they signed up, and we did it online
Hmm.
for probably about about five or six courses, about five
Hmm.
weeks each. And so I have a few of those. I'm just pulling them out and putting them back up for folks. 21 Days of Joy. I have a program for that. And
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know how you find it, but a lot of people these days want on-demand access.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
don't want to wait until their schedule opens up again. Well, no, I want to
Right.
do it now
Yeah.
because
On
we're
your
living in
time.
an instant gratification era.
Yeah. And people are so busy, they when they have time, they'll
Hmm.
take that hour, half
Yes.
hour, whatever it is.
Yeah.
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 So
Otherwise, we'll be doom scrolling.
yes. Yeah.
Yes. There's no judgment on this one, folks, because I have been known to engage in that scrolling.
Yeah. Once in
Okay.
a while. Once in a while, is that?
Okay, so we talked about your writing, we talked about your speaking. Tell us
Hmm.
what you're working on at the moment.
Okay, I am actually preparing to write a book. Trying to there's so much coming in my brain about this, how to say it. Uh, the story of all the interventions, the divine interventions that happened to me and how my life changed courses from everything I was
Mhm.
telling you from a child up to
Mm.
now. And um, I've had a few people tell me that's the thing to do, and I'm feeling it's the thing to do. And then,
Okay.
but what
Do you have a
they're,
working title for that one yet?
uh, I do, I'll forgot
Oh,
it.
don't share if you don't want to. No, no,
Oh,
but
no, no, I literally forgot
I'm
it.
always
I have.
after an exclusive.
I see. Well, we'll give you an exclusive. I actually have the book cover. I designed it in
Oh,
AI. First
right.
pop, it came out as like, holy cow, you know. Um, so but I don't because I have a second book that I thought I was going to start to write about anxiety and calm. So I have two
Okay.
books, and but they're going to be in one now because AI again, AI prompts you. They go,
Hey.
well, we see what you talked about here, your history of your life for the chip for the book.
Mm.
Would you like us to design this for a course that follows the book? It's like, wow, that's brilliant. That's an afterthought now. It's like a forethought. And it
Yes.
said something like, make sure when you talk about each event, what you did holistically, spiritually to to heal, to succeed,
Mm.
and then that becomes the links to the workshop. It's like, oh, this is brilliant.
Yes.
It's
Well, the
brilliant.
other thing is also, so you're running the workshop separately as an add-on, so the book is becoming a lead generation for the workshop.
Yeah, I mean, this
Okay.
it'll be part of the workshop too for those who haven't read the
Right.
book. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and
Because
that way I could give out tips online free, tell people
well, the
stuff.
other thing you can do there is add QR codes to the text,
Yes,
because
yes,
then you can refresh those every so often, and you keep your audience engaged.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, I do some of that. I've only written like two chapters, and I'm
Uh-huh.
probably going to rewrite them again now. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and and so it's really the art of storytelling, and
Mhm.
not just writing storytelling, but I love to tell stories. So, um,
Well, I mean, that's how wisdom has always been passed down through the
right,
generations, isn't it? Long before we ever put pen to paper
that's right,
or chisel to stone. Yeah, exactly.
right. Oral
Brilliant, brilliant.
tradition,
Okay.
the oral
So
tradition.
the oral tradition
What?
is really important. And I mean, that's the thing. If audience, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. You have a campfire. You sit around the campfire, and I can guarantee you, in under 5 minutes, somebody will be telling a story. It's
Yeah.
just written in our DNA. It's part of who we are.
And
Uh,
the funny thing, Wendy, is we've gone from oral to page, but now back to stage, which is oral
yeah,
again.
yes, yes. And also, an awful lot of people nowadays want to, as you said, where everybody's busy, they want to listen
Yeah.
to books
Yeah.
while they're exercising or
Yeah.
driving, or in my
I'm a
case,
big
doing
fan.
the dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, while cooking, I listen to books or YouTube
yes,
podcasts. Absolutely.
yeah. Well, I actually put up a post as we're recording this, guys. This is not going to go up immediately, but as this morning, I've put up a post on LinkedIn saying, "How do you like to consume your books?
Mm.
Physical, electronic, audio? Please comment." And it's fascinating because some people are actually also giving me the reasoning behind it.
Hmm.
So if there's something that's somebody likes looking at fiction, reading fiction, and she likes to do that on her Kindle because then she
Yeah.
can change the font.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So sometimes she decides, right, no, I don't want to read, I don't want to put my glasses on today. Woo, up comes the font, which you can't do on a physical book. I
No,
went,
no, no matter how
thank you
close you get
so
it.
much for sharing that insight. So yes, and again, people have said, I like to listen to it while I'm on the treadmill. Great.
Yeah.
It's that sort of information which is fascinating
Well,
because we have that option now. Yeah.
the funny thing is sometimes like downloaded I bought a book and then later they said because I took a class with them they said we're going to send you a free book and I bounced back and forth and reading and somehow reading on paper does something
Yes.
real
Yeah.
and you see it in a different it's presented differently.
Hold it. I don't
Yeah,
know
you
about you,
hold
but I love the smell of a book.
yeah, yeah.
Each book has its own individual
It does.
signature.
Yeah.
And audience, if you think I've gone off my rocker, yes, I have, but it's a personal thing. I fully accept my quirk. But yes, that's really special. Okay, thank you. So you're working on these two books at the moment. Do you have projected dates that well, the one book now, do you have your projected date that you're working towards publication?
No, things flow for me, and
Okay.
then I'll go off in different directions. I'll get new ideas.
Yeah.
So it has a life of its own, and I'm just the
Right.
scribe. I work for the muse.
Work for the book. Yes.
I work
God.
for- I'd
Yeah.
like to say
I
within
mean,
a year, but
okay. But
yes,
that's the point, isn't it? As you say, you're not bound by time. Some
right,
people go, right, I've got a deadline to go, brr, and I work best to a deadline. And
yeah,
other people go, yeah, well, when I sit quietly long enough, then the book has a conversation with me.
yeah, yeah,
But it's the busy world that we're in so much of the time that stifles that inner voice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The rushing, yeah, and it's a part of my life. It has to be a part of my life. It can't be, let me just knock this out like a
Yes.
machine, because
Yeah.
a whole lot of things are going to be missing. And the writing is a process for me, for my life,
Yes.
as well as having it written. I'll be somebody different by the time the book is done.
Absolutely. I mean, do you find that when you're reviewing incidents that have happened in your life, you go back and relive to a certain extent, the emotions involved? I mean, if you've managed to process them at the time, great. But when I wrote my first solo work,
Mm.
I a couple of people that were reading through the script, through the manuscript said, Wendy, you're not writing clinical notes. They knew that my background was in speech pathology. You're not writing clinical notes. We need more of you.
Yeah,
Where's the emotion? I was going, box that away, thank you. I didn't want to look at that. I had to revisit that. So
yeah,
absolutely, Swami, I can appreciate the growth. An audience, if you include, even in a business book, and I highly recommend you do, part or all of your origin story.
yeah, yeah,
People buy the story more than they buy the product. They buy the why, they buy the who before they buy
yeah,
the what.
yeah. Fortunately, this was pretty clinical, just here's the facts. But
Yeah.
it's so exciting that it, but it was what I'm going to write now is totally brand new for me, emotional, and I'm learning
Yes.
I'm learning I need to put adverbs in there,
Oh,
descriptive
really? Yes.
descriptive words. Like, wow, that makes a
Adjectives.
whole lot
Adverbs are
better.
wonderful. Yes. Yes. Well, the thing is, I mean, you're describing, you're painting a verbal picture.
Yeah, yeah,
And I don't know about you, when I've read a novel, for instance, and then they put it up on the big screen and I've looked at it and gone, that's not what I read. That wasn't the picture in my head. Because we will all create a
yeah,
picture from what we
yeah,
read.
right.
So, yeah, as much of you, the emotion, the rich descriptive language, be careful if you put it through AI because AI loves triplets, not this, not that, yes, or just the other. And
What do you mean
that's
by
a
that?
bit of a tell.
What does that mean?
Well, if you ask AI to review what you've said and
Right.
can you zhuzh it up a bit, there's a telltale sign that AI have got it
Uh-huh.
because they'll say not this and they'll give an example, not that and they'll give an example, just the other.
Oh,
So that's a bit of a tell.
okay. Oh, I did.
If you yeah, well, if you get into if you get into to publishing and reading lots and lots of now generated content,
Right. Okay.
it's a bit of a giveaway. So
Uh,
there you go, audience. If you're writing with AI, absolutely, it's really helpful to brainstorm what you're doing
yeah.
and also be aware that there are tells if you simply copy and paste.
It's funny you say that because I've done some of that, and it's like I told you, generated some ideas for me. But
Hmm.
when they'll write something and I'll say, well, that didn't even happen.
I know. Yes. Where did you get that from? Yeah.
So you
Oh,
gotta
absolutely.
read it, and then even,
Yes.
subtler you say, well, you wrote what I asked you to write, but it's not really what I'm the one has to come up with it at a certain point. They can give
Yes.
me ideas, but the
Yeah.
actual you got to put yourself into the
Oh,
the book.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, a case in point, are you saying sort of it confabulating? Uh, my husband died very suddenly, and I came home to find him dead in the chair one day, and his name was Jeff. And up comes this Steve died in palliative care. I'm going, oh. Um, I actually got quite cheeky. I said, do you need a coffee break? You've gone off on one here, sunshine. I mean, did you have magic mushrooms in your brownie? I started playing with it because I wanted it to
Yeah,
point out, no, stick to what I've told you.
yeah,
Don't go off on one and sort of go and check the internet and come up with something that you want to add into it, because that's not right.
yeah.
So yeah, you have to clearly read what you said. Is it in your voice? And the
Right,
more you work
exactly.
with AI, the more it learns,
Yeah.
particularly if you are clear
But
with your
like
prompts.
you said, the funny thing is sometimes it needs a coffee break because it'll
Yes.
tell me stuff that it won't do stuff for me that it used to do at the beginning of the hour or something like that.
Yeah.
And some people say just turn it off, close it down, and get back up again, and then it's like all better.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, I go, look, I need a break.
Yes,
Clearly, you
that's
do
right.
too.
That's right. If he needs a
Let's
break,
come
I
up.
certainly need a break.
Yes. The fun of it. Okay. So this is coming out sometime in the next year.
I sure hope so.
Ah, cool. Audience, if you don't already know, this podcast has what I call dynamic show notes, which means that when my guests come back to me and go, oh, I've got a launch coming up, I go, oh, have you? Give me the details. I go back in, I change the show notes, and then I do a quick socials blast and go, do you remember that brilliant conversation I had with Swami, the Orange Cowboy? We're going to get you to put your hat on in a minute. Come back and check it out again because something's changed.
Mm,
Content hasn't changed, but the underlining stuff has. There's something new. Go look at it.
yeah.
So that's what I offer for people who come on this podcast.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I gotta tell you something funny. Back in the
Go on.
day when they first started to have internet where you could see things and not just bottom text. That's how I started. One line at the bottom, type
Yeah.
something, and it would give you text. That's all. Then they had one of the browsers that WYSIWYG. What you saw is what you got, and that's when you could have
Yes.
pictures. And why am I telling you this story? I just blanked on the whole
Are you
purpose of
looking
it.
at AI generated images?
No. Oh, right. So there was a little, they didn't even call them apps at the time. There was a thing you could put on your website called a guest book. And it was a little
Okay.
book with a feather. And then people say, oh, this is my name. This is my email address. And, um, and I think you could mention stuff to them, but somehow they followed my journey of writing the encyclopedia. And there was a
Right.
few hundred people on the list. And as soon as the book came out, I said, the book is out. And you look the next day on Amazon and poof, 100 people bought the book.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And, now we have other ways to do that. But back
Well,
then it
that's
was a
the
little
thing. I
homey
mean,
thing.
well, things have evolved, haven't they?
Yes.
But the point is that now social media, you can, if you haven't got people off social media, you're at the whim of their algorithm.
Yeah.
And if there's a hint that you're trying to sell something, they won't promote it because they
Right.
want you to pay them for the adverts.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where you have to be very careful about how you promote using socials. But you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. If you get people on board and you've got their emails, that's another of the bestseller strategies. You do pre-sales,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then you get a whole team of people putting in within an hour, because Amazon do their counts every
Right.
hour.
Right. Right. Oh, to the hour now. Okay. It was to
Oh
the
yeah.
day in the a
Oh
few
no, no,
years
no!
back.
It's hour by hour. I mean, they have. I can't remember how many new titles go up every day.
Well,
So,
I'll tell you what we did. Here's a little tip. If you've written a book like the one about the Mother Mary,
mhm,
we put it in the categories, and one is self-help, one is grief, and one is Christian books.
mhm,
So we published this on a Sunday,
mhm.
and we were number one in Christian books for some time, maybe a day or two or three, whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's the
So
thing. Choose your categories very carefully.
yeah.
That Amazon have changed the way they do it now. They used to
Oh,
have option for 10 categories. Now they only
oh,
have three.
yes. Yeah.
And the bots will decide what other categories to put it in
Oh, okay.
based on the content.
Right.
But the categories that you can apply for are different depending on your primary marketplace.
Right.
So if you put your primary marketplace and you post it through amazon.co.uk, which is where my publishing house is based, you
Right.
have certain categories. Canada has different categories.
Oh,
The
okay.
US have different categories. So
Hmm.
one of my books has gone up in a different category in the States, and I go, I didn't put that one in. Okay. But that's what they decided would be better for that market.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, and you can have the primary um, marketplaces are US, Canada, UK, Australia.
Oh, okay. And you're in
Um,
all of them, right? You're in Japan and France and Germany and all that, right?
oh, absolutely. It will do that, but in terms of where you publish it, they ask you where is your primary
Right, right, right.
audience.
I see. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. Just a little bit of extra
India
publishing know-how
is,
there.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, Swami, as we're winding up then, how do you embody your words when you take them from page to stage?
How do I embody the words?
Hmm,
I'm not sure. I do story. I mostly tell stories, but the audience is very much involved. The feedback, I look at them. Is a feeling, is a vibe? Are they,
mm,
how I say it, you'll see their eyes opening up more or maybe closing down
mm,
more.
mm.
So, but if I'm excited enough, which I usually have to be excited or else there's no point in talking to
Yeah.
people,
Mhm.
then there's a lot of joy and people just like that. And I ask questions a lot. I like to, my successes have come from interaction with everybody else. I'll give you an example. I was teaching Ayurveda uh, certification. At the end of one course, people were getting up to leave, and I said, "Congratulations, go and they said, "Yeah, but we're not that confident in practicing." And I said, "But you all got A's in the course." They said, "Yeah, but we never practiced. We never did the hands-on work."
Mm,
So the light
mm.
bulb went off, and I was the first school to offer hands-on training. And not only that, some of the schools would eventually offer it like in the fourth year after you learned
Okay.
everything. But
Yeah.
how do you learn if you don't do? So I
Two.
put it at the beginning in like the third month. So they were doing
Mm.
mock consultations. And
Yeah.
so uh, uh, when I do like a mediumship sessions with people, I'll tell them what I'm getting. But at a certain point, I'll say, "Am I connecting? Do you feel is that, is that
Mm.
accurate?" Because
Mm.
I just said something, I have no idea if it's true. And they go, "Yeah, that they did that, that." So
Mm.
it's
Mm.
about a conversation. Okay, how do you pour? I forgot the question you had, but
How do
if
you
it,
embody your words? I mean, the reason I'm asking this is because some people they're happy on the written stuff, but when it comes to actually speaking, they're really not so sure. Oh, I've had various answers. I've had people go, "Oh, I have a breath practice first, and I go and have a look at the room, and I see how much energy is there." Other people have said, "Well, there's no difference whether I'm reading it or speaking it. It's me, and
yeah.
therefore I am embodying my words. I am my words." So lots of people have come up with
Uh,
different ideas.
I'm a conversationalist, and I mean that in a two-way. I want the
Mm,
people to participate. Everything is about participation, and like the millennials, they want experiential stuff, and God bless
yes.
them because that's who I am. If it's not experiential, it's just
Yeah.
ideas that who knows if they're true or not.
Well, that's it. Theory is one thing. Lived experience is
Yeah,
something entirely different. Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Swami.
But,
So, as we're winding up completely now, what are your final words of wisdom for us?
ooh, okay. Well, I can try to see there's a message that comes in for people. If you'd like, I could do that. Or I
Okay.
could, okay, let's see. Something for, all right. So I'm asking for some wisdom for authors to be, and people who are following you and taking your courses, if there's any message for them. So we'll keep it real focused. So keep your heart foremost, they're saying. Feel the fullness in your heart when you're writing, when you're speaking, when you're preparing, when you're studying with Wendy. It's all about your heart because in the end, we're heart to heart people. and that's how we affect people. So
Absolutely. That's the way you
drive
get the connection, isn't it? Mm.
drive your heart car, and
Thank you so much, Swami. I've really appreciated having this conversation with
it
you
was very,
and for
very
you
enjoyable.
sharing your from page to stage.
Thank you so much, Wendy. All the best to you and your audience.
Bye for now.
Bye bye. Joy, joy, joy.